Hello guys, today I'm gonna open Albaz Strike treasure deck. As you can see, here it is. It's beautiful. This is the most broken treasure deck that has ever been released on Yu-Gi-Oh! For the last 20 years, this is the most broken one. Yeah, I'm gonna open it right now. So yeah, here it is, the playmat. I am making the video here with the playmat at the moment. You can see it. It's very beautiful art style. I like it. It's perfect. I don't have any complaints. Okay, gonna show you the deck. Wait a second. Here it is. The first card is Tri Brigade Mercurier. Yeah. Here's the back of the card of the deck. Okay, I'm gonna try to open it. Wow, it's hard to open. Oh, come on, I don't know. Guys, you have to buy these decks because they're one of the most. I mean, like, this is the most broken structure deck ever that have been released. It's only $10 in most countries. In Europe, maybe 10 or 15 euro, but that doesn't matter. Okay, gonna start with the cards. Here it is. Tri Brigade Mercurier, the first card. It's a really good card. Ah, I forgot to read the effect. Wait a second. When your opponent activates a monster effect while you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or face of field to the graveyard. Negate that effect. If this card is banished, you can add from your deck to your hand one Fallen of Albaz or one monster that mentions it, except Tri Brigade Mercurier. You can only use it once per turn, this effect. Okay, Spring Gun Skate. If you have a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material in your field or in your graveyard, you can special summon this card from your hand. If this card is not special summoned, you can add to your hand one of your branded spell traps that is banished or in your deck or graveyard. Then place one card from your hand on the bottom of the deck. You can only use each effect of Spring Gun Skate once per turn. Okay, the next card is the Golden Sword Soul. When a monster declares attack, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, negate the attack. Then, if you control a fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material, you can destroy the monster that declared the attack. If a monster is banished, face up except during damage step, you can banish this card from your field or graveyard, special summon one light spell card monster from your hand or graveyard whose attack equals to its own defense. And you can use it only once per turn. The next card is Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon. Final Albaz plus one fusion synchro Z or link monster. You can only control one Mirror Jade, the Ice Blade Dragon, once per turn. Quick effect. You can send one fusion monster from your extra deck to the graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. Banish one monster on the field. Also, this card cannot use this effect next turn. If this fusion summoned card if this fusion summoned card in its owner control leaves the field because of opponent's card, you can destroy all monsters your opponent controls during the end phase of this turn. Maybe the most broken card in the structure deck. Okay, the next card is I'm not sure how to pronounce it. Lubelion, the Searing Dragon. Yeah, one dark monster plus Fallen of Albaz. If this card is fusion summoned, you can discard one card, fusion summon one Leo or 8 or WoW fusion monster from your extra deck except Beyond the Searing Dragon. By shuffling fusion materials mentioned on the deck from your monsters on the field, graveyard, and or face up, banish cards for the rest of this turn. This card cannot attack. Also, you cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters. You can only use this effect for Beyond the Searing Dragon once per turn. Okay, the next card is Branded Fusion. Fusion summon one fusion monster that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material from your extra deck, using two monsters from your hand deck or field as fusion material. You cannot special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monsters the turn you activate this card. You can only activate one Branded Fusion per turn. Okay. Branded Sword. Trap card. Banish any number of branded spell traps from your graveyard. Special summon that many Iceblade tokens. Dragon Dark level 8 attack 2500 defense 2000. You can banish this card from your graveyard then target one of your banished monsters that is fallen of Albaz or mentions it. Add that monster to your hand. You can only use one branded sword effect per turn. Only once, yeah. Branded Retribution. When a spell, trap card, or monster effect is activated that includes an effect that special summon monsters. Return to the extra deck one phase of fusion monster you control, or two fusion monsters in your graveyard that mentions Fallen of Albaz as material. And if you do, negate that activation. If you do that, destroy that card. You can banish this card from your graveyard and target one branded spell trap in your graveyard except branded Retribution. Added to your hand, you can only use one branded Retribution effect per turn and only once a turn, yeah. The next card is Fallen of Albaz, the main card in the deck. If this card is not special summoned except during the damage step, you can discard one card, fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters on either field or as fusion material, including this card, but you cannot use other monsters you control as fusion material. You can only use the effect of Fallen of Albaz once per turn. The next card is Albion the Shrouded Dragon. This card's name becomes Fallen of Albaz while on the field in the graveyard. If this card is in your hand or graveyard, you can send one Fallen of Albaz or one branded spell trap from your hand or deck to the graveyard. Apply the following effect based on where you send it from. Hand, special summon this card, deck, place this card on the bottom of the deck. Then if you place this card from your hand, draw one card. You can only use one effect of the Albion, the Shrouded Dragon, once per turn. The next card is Dogmatica. Dogmatica Fleurdelis the Knighted, yeah. During the main phase, if a monster is special summoned from the extra deck is on the field, quick effect, you can special summon this card from your hand. Then if you control another Dogmatica monster, you can negate the effect of phase up monster to the field until the end of this turn. When your Dogmatica monster declares an attack, you can make all Dogmatica monsters you currently control gain 500 attack. You can only use each effect of Dogmatica Fleurdelis the Knighted once per turn. Yeah, it's quite hard to pronounce, but it's not a problem. It's not an issue. A Red Eye Darkness Metal Dragon. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing one phase of dragon monster control. You can only special summon Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon once per turn. This way, during your main phase, you can special summon one dragon monster from your hand or graveyard except Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon. You can only use this effect of Red Eyes Darkness Metal Dragon once per turn. The next card is Thunder King, the Light Strike Kaiju. Thunder effect, you can special summon this card from your hand by from your hand to your opponent's field in attack position by debuting one monster you control. If your opponents control Kaiju monster, you can special summon this card from your hand in attack position. You can only control one Kaiju monster once per turn. You can remove 3 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field. Your opponent cannot activate cards or effects for the rest of this turn, and also this card can make up to 3 attacks on monster during each battle phase this turn. Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Cannot be normal summoned, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing 3 light and or dark monsters in your graveyard. When summoned this way, you can activate this effect, apply the following effects based on the attributes. The monster banished for this special summon, also this card cannot attack for the rest of this turn. Only light, special summon one monster from your graveyard in the first position. Only dark, shuffle one random card from your opponent's hand into the deck. Both light and dark destroy up to 2 cards on the field. You can only use each effect of Chaos Dragon Levianeer. Okay. The next card is second. Yeah. Radiant the Multidimensional Kaiju. It's the same effect as the previous Kaiju, but the second is different. You can only control one Kaiju monster once per turn. You can remove 2 Kaiju counters from anywhere on the field. Special summon 1 Radiant token, Fin Dark level 7, attack 2800, defense 0. But it cannot be used as synchro material. Yeah. Artifact Sight. You can set this card from your hand to your spell trap zone as a spell during your opponent's turn. If this set card in the spell, it traps and is destroyed and sent to your graveyard. Special summon it. If you discard a special summon during your opponent's turn, your opponent cannot special summon monster from the deck for the rest of this turn. It's hard to read this fast. And I have to read fast because I don't have time. White Dragon Wyvern Buster. Cannot be normal summoned set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one dark monster from your graveyard. You can only special summon White Dragon Wyvern Buster once per turn. This way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one Black Dragon Collapse Punt from your deck to your hand. Oh, Jesus Christ. Please God, Black Dragon Collapse Punt, yeah. Cannot be normal summoned or set, must be special summoned from your hand by banishing one light monster from your graveyard. You can only special summon Black Dragon Collapse Punt once per turn this way. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can add one White Dragon Wyvern Buster from your deck to your hand. Okay, the next card is Starlich Seifert, yeah. You can send any number of dragon monsters from your hand and or face up field to the graveyard. Add one dragon monster from your deck to your hand whose level equals to the total original levels of those monsters sent to the graveyard. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one level 8 light or dark dragon monster in your graveyard, add it to your hand. You can only use each effect of Starlich Seifert once per turn. Woo! Oh, it's hard to read. Keeper of Dragon Magic. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can discard one card, add one polymerization normal spell or fusion normal spell from your deck to your hand. You can review one fusion monster in your extra deck special summon one of the fusion materials mentioned on the monster from your graveyard in face down defense position. You can only use each effect of Keeper of Dragon Magic once per turn. You can also special summon monsters from the extra deck except fusion monster the turn you activate either of these card effects. The next card is Summoner Monk. While this card is face up on the field, it cannot be tributed. If this card is normal or flip summoned, change this card to defense position once per turn. You can discard one spell, special summon one level 4 monster from your deck, but that monster cannot attack this turn. Ghost Ogre is no rabbit. When a monster on the field activates its effect, or when a spell trap that already is face up on the field activates its effect, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard, destroy that card on the field. You can only use this effect of Ghost Ogre is no rabbit once per turn. That means you couldn't destroy a field spell or continuous trap or spell. Yeah. Effect Veiler, one of the most OP cards in the deck. During your opponent's main phase quick effect, you can send this card from your hand to the graveyard and target one effect monster your opponent controls. Negate the effect of that phase up monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn, which is strong, pretty strong. Omni Dragon Brutaur. If a monster you control is destroyed by battle on opponent's card effect, it can special summon this card from your graveyard. If it was there when the monster was destroyed or hand, even if not, but banish it when it leaves the field. If this card is special summoned, you can target one face up monster on the field, discard one card if you do, add one monster from your deck to your hand with the same type attribute as that target, but different name. You can only use each effect of Omni Dragon Brutaur once per turn. Help! Branded Lost. The activation of your cards and effects that equate an effect that fusion summons a fusion monster cannot be negated. Also, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects when a monster is fusion summoned this way. If you fusion summon a fusion monster, you can add one Fallen Fibers or one monster that mentions from your deck to your hand. You can only use each effect of Branded Lost once per turn. This is one of the most strong cards in the structure deck. Yeah. Branded in White. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as a material, including a dragon monster. You can also banish monsters from your graveyard as material if you use Fallen on Falbos as fusion material from your hand field, or by banishing itself from your graveyard during the end phase if this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there. To activate the effect of Fallen on Falbos this turn, you can set this card. You can only use each effect of Branded in White once per turn. The next card is Branded Bond. Special summon one of your fallen foes that is banished in your hand or in your graveyard during the end phase. If this card is in your graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of fallen Albaz this turn, you can set this card. You can only use each effect bond once per turn. The next card is Fusion Gate. During the main phase, the turn player can fusion summon a fusion monster from their extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from their hand or field. The next card is Fusion Recycling Plant. Once per turn, you can discard one card, add one polymerization from your deck or graveyard to your hand. Once per turn during the end phase, you can target one monster in your graveyard that was used as fusion material for a fusion summon this turn added to your hand. Fusion Substitute. This card is always stated as polymerization. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck using monster you control as fusion material. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one fusion monster in your graveyard, return to extra deck, then draw one card. The next card is Gold Sarcophagus. Banish one card from your deck, phase it during your second standby phase. After this card activation, add that card to the hand. The next card is Pot of Extravagance. I'm not sure how to pronounce it. At the start of your main phase, banish 3 or 6 random face down cards from your extra deck. Face down, draw one card for every 3 cards banished for the rest of this turn. After this card resolves, you can draw any cards by card effects. Colored by the Grave. Target one monster in your opponent's graveyard, banish it. If you do, until the end of the next turn, its effects are negated as well as the activated effects and effects on the field of monster with the same origin name. Let's say you banish hero card and our hero card gonna be negated the effects. Yeah, it's that simple. I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, here I am. The next card is Dark Rower No More. Negate the effects of all face-up monster your opponent currently controls until the end of this turn. Also for the rest of this turn after this card resolves, your opponent takes no damage. Neither player can activate monster effects in response to this card activation. Okay, Screens of the Branded. If a fusion monster was sent to your graveyard this turn, special summon one of your fusion monsters that is banished or in your graveyard during the end phase. If this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz this turn, you can set this card. You can only use each effect of Screens of the Branded once per turn. Judgment of the Branded. Target one level 8 or higher fusion monster you control. Destroy all monster your opponent controls with equal or higher attack than that monster during the end phase. If this card is in the graveyard because it was sent there to activate the effect of Fallen of Albaz this turn, you can set this card. You can only use this effect of Judgment of Branded once per turn. The next card is Necrofusion. Fusion summon one fusion monster from your extra deck by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from your graveyard face down, but it cannot attack this turn. Back to the front. Target one monster in graveyard, special summon it in a defense position. Warning point. When a monster is summoned this turn, that face up monster cannot attack. Its effects are negated. Also, it cannot be used as material for fusion, Synchro Z or Link summon. There can only be one continuous trap. Each player can only control one monster of each type. If a player controls 2 or more monsters of the same type, they must send some to the graveyard so they control no more than one monster of that type. Dimensional Barrier. Trap card. Declare one monster card type Ritual Fusion Synchro Z or Pendulum. For the rest of this turn, neither player can special summon monsters of the declared type. Also negate the effects of all monsters of that type while they are on the field. You can only activate one dimensional barrier per turn. Okay, Waking the Dragon. This card, I love it. If this set card in its owner control has left the field because of opponent's effect and is now on the graveyard or banished, you can special summon one monster from your deck or extra deck. Okay, the next card is Titan Quad, the Arch Dragon. Fallen of Albaz 1+ monster with 2500 or more attack gains attack equal to the combined 2 original levels of the monster used for its fusion summon by 100. Wow. As this card is fusion summoned for the rest of this turn, it is unaffected by the activated effects of any other monster pursuant from the extra deck during the end phase. This card is in the graveyard because it was sent there this turn. You can add to your hand or special summon one Dogmatica monster or a Fallen of Albaz from the deck. You can only use this effect of Titan Quad, the Arch Dragon. Big Grand, the Gory Dragon. Fallen of Albaz +1 level 8 or higher monster cannot be destroyed by battle while you control this fusion monster card. Your opponent cannot target other monster you control with monster effects during the end phase if this card is in the graveyard because it was sender. This turn you can add to your hand to special summon one Tri-Brigade monster or Fallen of Albaz from your deck. You can only use this effect of Brigade, the Guardian was per turn.
Too fast.
Dobre. Sprint the Iron Dash Dragon. Fallen Fabas plus 1 effect monster special summon this card during your main phase. You can move this card you control to another of your main monster zone. Then you can destroy all other phase up cards in this card column during the end phase. If this card is in the graveyard because it was sender this turn, you can add to your hand or special summon one Spring Guns monster or Fallen of Fabas from your deck. You can only use each effect to spray down the Iron Dash. Oh, it's so funny. My father, I just saw his face through the window, yes, and he was like, too fast, don't read too fast. Okay, Albion the Blood and Dragon. Fallen Fabas plus 1 light motive. This card is fusion summoned. You can fusion summon one level 8 or war fusion monster from your extra deck, except Albion the Blood and Dragon by banishing fusion materials mentioned on it from hand, field, on or graveyard during the end phase. If this card is sent to the graveyard because it was sent there this turn, you can add to your hand or set one balance spell trap directly from your deck. You can only use each effect of Albion the Blood and Dragon once per turn. Okay, here are the tokens. Albaz the Shrouded. This card can be used as any token of the counter. Does his name refer to a past buried in darkness or to a bright future? Ah. Okay. Ecclesia the Exiled. This card can be used as any token or counter. A pure white hair to be filled with many memories with thoughts of coming days in mind. The girl gives a name to the boy. Tri-Brigade. So yeah, that is the aim. Okay. The virtuous vestals. Sometimes like a kind sister, sometimes like a strict teacher. The bond is always there even while far apart. Okay, the last card is Aluber the Dogmatic. A thing separated from the abyss, it mocked the light and deceived darkness. Okay, this is all from me, guys. I hope you liked the video. I know that you didn't like it because I can speak or there are everywhere sounds from the washing machine or from cooking, I know, but please bear with me. Be happy, be healthy, have a nice day or night. Bye bye from me, and this is all.